I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's a filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Give a little Overkill lyric video. The band is Overkill. The DJ is Ben. We are Vin and Sori. Let's do this shit.
Let's do it.
Give a little. Is the name of the song?
Give a little.
Give a little.
Dude, I'm so confused about what this song is about. Because I thought I knew when it started. I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
What did you think it was?
And, you know, you're trying to say a prayer, but it's too late. But then he was saying, here, then it was like, basically like the dominance part and, you know, give a little soul and give up some dominance. I thought basically they were saying like, you know, submit yourself to the religion. Is what I thought he was saying.
Which religion?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm going to make everything about Jesus. So I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Oh, so they're trying to get him to...
Yeah, but no, as the song continued, I don't think that's what it was because he was like, fuck the sky, fuck the...
I think there's some ghost energy going on here.
Okay.
And I'll tell you in a second. So he says, standing on your own 2 feet, inches away from the infernal heat, right? So we're opening up the scene and this dude it's over with. He's about to go to hell in this bitch.
Oh, no.
All right.
No, I don't believe it's a relationship song.
Sweating like a pleat. Well, I think it's a relationship with
What?
someone. Obviously, he's got a bad relationship with God.
Oh,
I think it would be in the parapets of hell.
You know me, I only put relationship one way.
Let's go. Hey, shout out to Pizza Hut. Remember,
dude, you're making me hungry.
Did we prank call Pizza Hut or was it Papa John's? Which one
Papa
was it?
John's, that's right.
That was a classic Vin and Sori
That's right, we prank called.
moment.
That's right, on camera.
We should bring that back.
I wish I knew which video that was. I'd go read the comments.
We got to bring that back in season 3.
Yep.
The story's yours, the plan complete, calling out no one's there. The semblance of a holy prayer. I'm assuming you're calling out to God and
Wait,
he's not
pause.
listening.
That sounds like fun.
Telling you guys I like season 3.
Season 3.
You guys are gonna like season 3, I'm telling you.
Okay, so the guy's about to enter hell?
Yeah, and you're crying out to God, and he doesn't hear your prayer. Now I don't know if I want to have this discussion. So I just got done watching. We just got done watching movies about near-death experiences.
It's called After Death?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. And I mean, the field right now is pretty crazy as far as this. I'm seeing more and more and more secularists say that the dying brain theory. So that was kind of the idea, is that the reason you see this white light is because your brain is dying out as it loses oxygen. So, for example, when you start going into if you start bleeding out.
Yep. Okay.
One of the first things to happen when you're really in trouble is you start getting tunnel vision. And so, because because of the blood and all this, your brain begins to lack all that shit. And so then you start, collapsing because your visual cortex whatever. But, and so that's why you see the white light and all that shit.
I mean, shoot, if you get hit in the head hard enough, you see white too.
Yeah, you see sparkles, right?
Yeah.
You see little flashes. And so they felt pretty good about that until you had this woman that said there was a shoe at the top left corner of the ceiling of the building.
Yeah.
Because she said when she was in surgery, she floated up past the building and saw everything, including this shoe. This is scientifically documented. Okay? And so things like that, there's literally thousands of stories like that. Other things like
They hear conversation that happened while they were completely
next
dead,
door.
While they were dead.
Right. But the problem is that there's other stories of like 9 doors down.
Hearing something over there.
People getting up and going 9 doors down and seeing what's going on with a total stranger. Nobody, just incredible stories.
HIPAA violations.
Incredible stories. So, anyway.
Oh, Delaney, you have no idea. If you watch it, it's crazy. Some of the experiences these people have had that they were
we might do one of those in a watch along. We might go watch
it. We could probably contact them directly.
But
too. Who knows?
One of the things that was fascinating about the movie was it also covered bad NDEs.
Yes.
So there was one guy, and he was in the hospital for surgery or something like that. And he woke up kind of after surgery, resting his legs and shit. And
his wife was crying, right?
His wife was crying, and he was like, man, chill out, we good. And she was ignoring him. And he kept telling her, like, yo, I'm good, look at me. And she kept ignoring him. And he's like, geez, what's your problem? So he goes outside. And when he went outside the door, he essentially said, I had a sense that I could never go back in that door again. I had to stay in the hall. Well, in the hall, coming towards him were these 4 hooded individuals. Couldn't see their faces, couldn't make them out, but they were 4 hooded individuals. And they said to him, you have to come with us now. Mm-hmm. So he starts walking with them down the hall. But then
he started changing his mind. Like,
well, what happened is he said he was walking for a good 10 minutes. And he's like,
hold on.
There's no hall this big in this hospital. And it just, he's like, no, I'm good. And they said, shut up.
And then they got really crazy.
They
literally freaking gave me goosebumps.
They flipped on him.
Yeah.
They flipped, shut up. And then they grabbed him. He said that they were starting to tear him apart. And he cried out to God.
No, isn't that the one where he got dragged down and he was falling.
Yeah.
And he said that like everything was just like whizzing past him, and then when he landed at the bottom, there was beings that jumped on him and they started tearing him apart and like literally eating him. And he said that he didn't know what to do, and so then he prayed.
Yeah.
Because it was all just Jesus. And then, like, this hand or this light, like, shot down from that hole that he dropped on, and it grabbed him, and it pulled him out of that hole. And then he came back into the hospital room and breathed, and he was back alive. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Crazy experience.
Mm-hmm. Ah, Marie Austin in the house. Yeah. And there was another one too. This kid OD'd, and he had this sensation that he kept falling.
Yeah.
And he said, why am I going here? I've been a good person.
Did I mix the 2 stories?
No.
Okay.
So he was falling, and he said, why is this happening with me? I'm a good person. And when he said, I'm a good person, he said he fell faster. And when he was right there about to hit, he said, okay, Jesus, help me if you can help me, because I'm in a lot of trouble. And same thing. The reason I hesitate to tell those stories is because I don't know if that's going to be your
experience. If you're going to have the opportunity to see. The thing is,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you don't know if you're going to have a frame of mind even to call out to Jesus if you haven't done it your entire life. Like, what's your knee jerk when something goes bad? Like, are you serious?
No, we're good.
Okay. I was like, that's weird.
No, I agree.
All right, Sean, have a good night. Kill that pizza for us tomorrow.
Well, I don't know about that, King Igor. I think there's been a very big tradition of questioning things, especially in Christian history. If you would look at all the various controversies in Christian history, and most of those were internal, where we're battling each other and questioning each other and debating each other.
Yeah.
So that's a stereotype on the outside, but it's definitely not something that happens in the Christian faith. But
I mean, shoot, we went too far. People burn steak because of it. Like we've obviously been extreme with it, but we definitely had our debates to work through our theology and make sure that it was the most biblical possible, for sure.
Yeah, well, not the Catholics or the Eastern Orthodox. They're not worried about being completely biblical. But yeah, so I hesitated to talk about the story because I believe those places are real. Or I'll say this, I believe those states of being are real.
Yeah.
And I don't know those people's stories. Maybe it was this guy had never truly heard the gospel. Mm-hmm. And so God kind of made an exception for him.
Yep.
I just don't want people to think,
oh, I have a chance.
Oh, okay, I got that in my back pocket, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it could very well be that God made an exception for those 2 or 3 people because he knew they were going to make a movie to warn people the shit is real. Mm-hmm. And if you live as a person of hell on this planet and you raise hell on this planet, you're already in hell. And what's going to happen is when your consciousness goes to the next stage of existence, you are going to be locked into whatever you brought up in the world. So if you're part of the kingdom and you're bringing heaven to earth, when you die, you're locked into heaven. Mm-hmm. But if you're outside of that kingdom and you're raising hell, you're bringing hell down, up into the earth, then when you die, you're going to be confirmed in that. if there are exceptions for people, that's cool, but I wouldn't bank on it. The scripture says now is the day of salvation. So if my thing is like, if there's, I always tell people, like, if there's any part of you at 0.00004% that says this may be true, I think you should engage with that consciousness inside of yourself. Because there's, like, right now as I'm talking, there is another voice in your head saying, this shit is true, you should listen. And all I'm saying is, interrogate that voice. And if I'm crazy, then I'm crazy. But, I mean, I think all of us know intuitively that the 70 spins around the sun thing cannot be all that there is to it. The relationships are too powerful. Love is too much of a binding force. There's no way. And there's no excuse not to understand that consciousness happens after death with all the science that we've got. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's a parable in the Bible that talks about this man. He goes and he realizes that there's treasure and it's buried in this field, and he's like, oh shit, I know, I want that. Whoops, what happened here?
I don't know, I destroyed the world. We'll be back.
Just click on my thing.
Don't worry, dear listener.
We're back. So he's like, he finds out about this treasure being buried in this field. He's like, oh shit, well, I want that treasure. And that treasure was worth more than anything he had in his life. So he goes and he sells everything that he has so he can go buy that field. And obviously he finds the treasure, you know? And Jesus compares this to, like, knowing him, like, going in that direction with that. Like, Jesus is the ultimate treasure. So if you think to yourself, there's literally, you know, right now in your life, maybe you're like, this is important to me, that's important to me, whatever. But when you die and you're in that other existence, when money means nothing and all of the things that you thought were so important end up meaning nothing. Like, if you were at that place, you would probably say, I would literally sell everything to be able to have that opportunity to be able to try, just to see if that spirituality is right or real. And so this opportunity right now, while you're in the stream, like, Ben planned this stream, it got canceled for one reason or another, it got put to this night. And this night has brought different people, probably because of the warning stream that we did yesterday also. And so you guys are all here for a very specific reason. And it's just crazy because we're talking about this experience about, like, you're not dead yet. You're still at the place where you sell everything to buy that field. And if you sell everything and you buy that field and you find out that the field is empty, well, you know, you can work the land. If you sell everything and you buy the field and you find the treasure that you actually know is there because you saw it buried there or you heard it is buried there, then you're going to be ultimately in a better place. But it's, you know, this is the moment, like you said, today is the day of salvation. It's crazy, like the timing of everything. So yeah, sell everything so you can buy that field.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, even when it goes against the laws of physics reality, I stand by my statement. Igor, there are lots of things that are not explicable by physics in science.
Yeah.
For example, the UAP phenomena.
Yep.
It's documented. Experts in the field say that the things that these craft are doing violate Einsteinian physics.
Yeah.
Secondly, Einstein's hidden variables was completely and totally jettisoned as of December 2022. If you go to load up your google.com, go to Google and type in local realism.
Yep.
And you'll see that there is no such thing as locality. That means a neutron is not in a position until it's observed. And Einstein's laws relative to the speed of light are violated by this in quantum entanglement. So my point is, if you want to believe, there are more than enough reasons that God has provided us for believing. If you want to disbelieve, then you can ignore those things and hang out in your disbelief. That's cool. I just want to disabuse the rest of the audience of the notion that Christians are faith-based and then non-Christians are not faith-based. That's not true.
No, it's not true. It's interesting though because, like, obviously we have our stuff goes back thousands of years, and people are always like, oh, you know, some people are like, oh, well, why would I want to believe something written by some old dead guys? But if you follow science, then you should be up on the scientific discoveries of the time. And I'm finding that there are a lot of people who are still claiming scientific reasons or scientific belief, but are not up on the current scientific discoveries that actually changes things drastically for you guys, like what Vin was just bringing up. There you go. There's the link.
King Igor, Scientific American is not a arm of the U.S. government. Neither is a Nobel Prize. Okay? So when I talked about Einstein's hidden variables being jettisoned, that was relative to the winners of the Nobel Prize, 3 of them, one of whom was an American. That happened in December of 2022. Okay? So it's not the government. These are experts in the field. I gave you an introductory article right there. You can check it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is a lot stranger than we thought, and that's good news. What do you give the song?
What do you give it? I think I'm gonna go with a 9.
Yes, Nathan. Yes. If local reality isn't real, doesn't that mean that science finally agrees with ancient philosophy that reality is a projection? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's why guys like Bernardo Castro, Don Hoffman, Yosha Bar, all these guys are now becoming mainstream. You see them on Lex Friedman and all this other, Diana Pasolka. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, we're in really exciting times, and this information is for everybody. So, Igor, I hope you look into that stuff and, you know, hey, it is what it is.
It's pretty interesting if you don't want to hold to biases, you know. If you're like, okay, I'm ready to let my mind kind of take that leap, then...
Quantum entanglement is a hard theory to understand as it disregards time and space. I agree. I agree completely.
So I gave it a 9. What did you give it?
I'm going to give this one a 9.6. I really, really like this song a lot. I really, really did. It was provocative, and I love them. I didn't know that I was this much of a thrash type person. Maybe it's because I haven't been able to listen very well to thrash because we do so many like weird genres here. So it might be one of those things where it's like I still feel like these songs are just insanely heavy.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I miss it. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Yeah, EFOG. Listen, man, VinandSori@gmail.com. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the rabbit hole. Like, I literally could talk for 10 hours straight without a break right now about all this shit. But yeah, I'll hook you up with the info because it's incredible. I hear you, Middle, relative to the Nobel Prize, but that wasn't what was going on here. As a matter of fact, the opposite was going on because there was nothing new in those experiments, but the Nobel board did not want to give that award because of the implications of disagreeing with Einstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was the implications of what it would mean going forward.
No, the implications are Einstein said that quantum entanglement was crazy and that it was spooky action at a distance, and there must be hidden variables that explain this instantaneous, faster than light communication. And so they held off for a long time to awarding it to those dudes for that reason. So the politics were actually working against them.
Wow.
Because it was basically Einstein versus Peiss. Remember we were walking down the street and he looks up and he says, Dr. Peiss, are you really telling me the moon's not there unless it's observed? And so that was essentially the two coasts on this topic. And obviously mainstream science went with Einstein. And I don't think they're crazy for that. And then that happened. Okay. Commercial break.